Hello, everybody. This is Philip calling from Switzerland.
Hi, Philip.
Hi. First of all, breaking news, you're #1 here on Netflix with your program.
Yay, that's great breaking news.
but I guess it's not a surprise. You're doing worldwide so well. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
So first question for Jeff. You create that back in 2009, I guess, and it's so fresh and so current now during that pandemic we have to deal worldwide. What have you in mind when you wrote this?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously a decade or over a decade ago, I created Sweet Tooth, and I could never have anticipated where the world is today, you know, and what we've been through for the last year. I was really coming at it just from a place of loving science fiction stories. And, you know, there's a long line of dystopian, post-apocalyptic sci-fi that I always loved growing up. And I always wanted to try to do one of those types of stories. So I was really just coming at it from that point of view, not really thinking of real world relevance or anything like that, you know, and just trying to create a great story. And yeah, like I said, obviously I could never have anticipated how relevant and sort of, unfortunately, how real some of the aspects of what I created have become.
Okay, what is and the question to the creators, Beth and Jim, was it hard to find that balance between the dark side of the story and the hopeness?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Beth.
I was gonna say it really wasn't. At least I don't think it was for me or Jim. We always wanted it to have the hopefulness, but we also wanted to make sure that we kept it grounded in the real of what this world would look like. There were times where we're like, you know, in episode 3 when we're burning people alive, and then we have, you know, Gus super happy to find, you know, to go with Jeff and find his mom, that I know at one point we're like, is this gonna work? But I think in order to have those really dark moments, in order for them to work, you needed those hopeful moments, and vice versa.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, same here. I think the key was Gus, like very early on, even coming off the comic book, it was like having that character who hadn't been exposed to really anything dark, almost in a sort of comically innocent way. And that always helped take sort of all those elements and give them a fresh twist. Like Jeff, I'm a big fan of apocalyptic storytelling. And it was like, how do we look at that in a new way? And it just came down to looking at it through Gus's eyes.
Okay, and of course you see burning houses, but you make a cut before the whole tragedy goes through. So it's a very good balance, I guess. What audience had you in mind? Is it more family based or more teenagers, or what audience was your target?
I think it was yeah. Oh.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I was going to say it's a wide range because, you know, even in our room, in terms of ages, in our writer's room, in terms of ages, was all over the spectrum, and people who had kids, people who didn't have kids. And we started realizing that there was something for everyone. And I think a lot of the, you know, the sort of films that we were giving homages to, you know, like Indiana Jones, like those are nostalgic for people who are older, but also kids can also watch it. So I think that's kind of how it sort of evolved, because I think even in our dark moments, we never wanted to go too gritty creatively. Like it wasn't just in terms of for the audience. Creatively, it just didn't feel like we needed to go there.
Okay. And as I can see, Jim has a strong connection to animals, especially dogs.
She refused to be left out.
She's like, I will be part of this interview.
Yeah.
She was in our writer's room a lot too.
She was, yeah.
Okay, good. I mean, the opening scene with all the babies at the hospital, who breed babies, half animal, half human, that blow my mind. It was so well done. Amazing. So that at that point you're in that program. You can't stop. You want to see what happens.
Good.
Very well done. Okay, so there are different messages here, like trust, like friendship, like take care of each other, or for me the most important, being different is a good thing, and we have to accept other people who different people. So Jeff, was that your main message, or is there more or other messages?
I think when I was doing the book, I really focused just in on this core relationship between Gus and Jepperd, and this sense of two people who were kind of lost, but were total opposites. You know, Gus was a total innocent who kind of embodied childhood, and Jepperd was this hardened adult who had kind of seen tragedy and had sort of shut himself down. And then when you put these two characters together, they kind of reawaken each other's humanity and you know, kind of learn the best of each other, you know. And so that was sort of the core of what I was doing. And it's in terms of bigger sort of social messages, you know, yeah, obviously it's about you know, accepting anyone who's different, and whatever that difference can be. It can be so many different things, you know. But so the hybrids sort of became this broad metaphor for any sort of difference that you know, a person could be living with, or could be, you know, struggling with, and just sort of finding your place in the world despite that, and finding your importance. And so those were all the main things I was really thinking about.
And you're so close at the reality. I mean, a year ago, we're talking about, is that coronavirus made by human, or is it jumped from an animal to humans? And it's so, that was very creepy watching this during this time. It's unbelievable. It's, yeah. You
imagine writing it during
time. So I know you can give more away about the season 2, but a general question: is there more interesting material from the comic book to make other seasons?
I'll let Jeff answer that.
Yeah.
Well, I think, I mean, there's a ton of stuff. There's a pretty big mythology in the comics that they've already started tapping into. So yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of characters that haven't appeared yet. And you know, I think really, if you were to try to equate season 1 to the comics, we're really only at the first, maybe first quarter of the story that I did. So there's a ton of stuff. Plus, they've created a lot of great new characters and great new set pieces to play with themselves. So I mean, it's a pretty rich world, and I feel like season 1 just scratches the surface of the overall mystery too. So yeah, definitely.
How much is real nature in the program, and how much is studio work or CGI generated?
As much as we possibly could, real nature, real settings, and tried to avoid CGI as much as we could. We kind of went with the idea of doing like as much as you can practically. Like if it was 90% practical with 10% of a visual effects sweetener, like that was the sweet spot, and that was what we aimed for. We did do a fair amount in a stage, but mostly a lot of times it was always about control too. For example, when you have a lot of child actors, you know, it's hard to do night exterior woods, for example. And so we would build woods on a stage and actually shoot there, which helped give it a bit of a theatrical look at times, which we were kind of also going for. Like we wanted a bit of that throwback to the Jim Henson days, you know, for example. But Gus's ears, for example, are all in camera. That's puppeted live on set. The character of Bobby is all a puppet on set. So we wanted it to feel handcrafted in a way.
Unfortunately, my time is up. Again, congratulations. I love it. And I cross my finger for another season. Hope I see you soon, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.